Hello there, everybody who is around to watch the live stream or to watch this live stream afterwards. Thanks for stopping in. My name is Doug, and we're going to go through the Crypto Moon Index here today. And I'll explain more about what that is as we get set up and going. Essentially, what we're going to do is look at the top 55 coins on Poloniex, just as a cross-section of cryptocurrencies in general. And what we do is we take these, drag that up just a bit, and let me switch scenes over here. There we go. So now the chat isn't in the way. So each day, today is January the 14th, we are going through all of the markets on Poloniex, and we're adding in color coding to it. So if it's yellow, that means it's an alert. It's almost something that we want to buy according to our simple trading plan. You can get a hold of a copy of that simple trading plan by grabbing the link to the spreadsheet down below, and inside the spreadsheet you can click on the free chapter and go and grab it. So green color would be a market that we are holding as a paper trade. We would say it's already passed our alert, and that would be a buy for us. Blue means that you should be getting out of the trade that you're holding. Orange is a near sell or a near fail. Red is a sell or a fail. So if something is going to be going down, we'll mark it as red no matter where it is on the charts. Now, let me double check the stream over here. Hey, Professor Wally, good to have you here. And M. Babs, good to see you. Hello, AOL Chandra. Good to have you along as well. I don't think I've announced this on the Discord chat. Let me copy and paste that as soon as I find the Discord chat. There it is. Going live, everyone. Gone live, everyone. A new super chat from Super Professor Wally. Thank you kindly. Wow, I love that sound when it jingles in. That's fantastic. That gives you some more hit points there. And that's a great moment for me to just say thank you, Professor Wally, who has been the stream boss here on this show for the longest time. He only got kicked out once, and he just holds that spot. So I want to say thank you very much. You make me jump, write you a thank you note. Thank you to the subscribers and the followers over on Twitch. I'm not sure if I'm streaming to Twitch right now. And back to the show. We can see over on the side here of the screen, we have the tip jar getting filled. We have live price of Bitcoin. So no matter what we're doing in the show, you can always see the live price of Bitcoin off to the side. You can see it's 11 degrees Celsius, minus 11 degrees Celsius outside where I am. It's 6 p.m. The price of Bitcoin is $3,700 and the price of Ethereum is $130. You can go to intro-to-cryptos.ca for all sorts of more training and information and helpful details there. Below this video, you can go and find our Discord chat. All sorts of great people on there. And we're talking about cryptocurrencies all day and all night. Here's the price of Bitcoin. You may recognize it's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Should it break above these levels, of course, everybody and their dog is going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. But this is our formation, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And this is what we're going to be looking for throughout all of our search for cryptocurrencies in Poloniex. And we can do this for all of the different markets in every different exchange. And actually, we do Binance as well as Poloniex in our alerts that you can find out more about on the website. So what we're looking for as criteria, as you'll get from our download, is we're doing the simple trading plan here. There are many different trading plans, but the one we're doing I call the simple trading plan because there's 3 rules to it. You have the downtrend line break, you have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout, and then you have the exponential moving average crossover, generally looking at the 12-hour bars as we zoom out here. So you can always see this. It's a common form of formation, and all of the Elliott waves theorists and traders, they all recognize these patterns as well. This is just a piece of the Elliott wave, and it's always the last piece. You know, in an uptrend or a downtrend, we always get the highest or the lowest price eventually one time. That becomes the number 1 point. As prices bounce up and try to come back down and break that price but don't, that becomes the number 3 point. So we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, and prices are hovering between the 3 and the number 2, which is sort of neutral. There's nothing to do. We want to wait until this goes past the number 2 point, and we'll see some examples here today of prices that have gone past the number 2 point, and that's our buy signal. On the other hand, if prices go down and they break the number 3, and then they go down and they break the number 1 point, that's really bad. And if we see a whole bunch of cryptos going down and breaking this number 1 point, that could be the earliest indicators that we're not done the downtrend, and it's actually going to go down further than where we are now. For the present time, we can look at it and think that it's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and we can just enjoy that view, hoping that it comes true. But if it goes down the other way, we have to be prepared for trading the other direction. We want to trade the direction and not only just going from buy low to sell high. If it's going down, we have to trade differently that way. Now, let me go and check over on the chat again. Remember to hit the live button during the live stream so you don't forget. Actually, my live streaming software was hooked up through restream.something.io, and it wasn't working, so I had to go to YouTube directly and grab the stream details, login details, and put them into my streaming software. So after that long intro explanation, you'll see on the spreadsheet there's this page with all sorts of tools for cryptocurrency trading. It's really great. I go back to it all the time. That's why I saved it there. Ardor, after all that explanation, gets nothing. It gets a clear spot here, which means it's neutral. It's in between. It's not ready for an alert. It's not ready for a sell. It's not ready for a buy. It's in between. And so now we'll go down the list and we'll look for the same thing. I would say this is a near fail. It's nearly going down to break to a sell. So any lower than this and it would be a sell. You'd be wanting to get rid of them. So BAT, I'm going to make it orange. And the more oranges we get, the more negative overall the whole market is. More reds, certainly the more negative the market is too. BNT. So it's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, neutral, in between. If it was pressing down lower, I would have to give it orange, but it's not. So BCN, I know these are out of order. It's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation floating along. So BNT, BCN are much the same. Now let's take a look at the, I don't know, I don't have any knowledge enough to comment properly, but this is a nice move here, and then prices are down to the 50% level. So my bias aside, zoom into it and zoom into it again. It is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up here. It's not the prettiest, but should it be breaking higher than that, this would be a consolidation breakout, like an internal 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So even though it's not a simple trading plan signal, because it's on the 4-hour bars and it's too short of a time frame, it still could be a trading signal. This is a much better looking 1, 2, 3 bottom formation at some nice historical support and resistance. And so if this was to be starting to break higher, that would give me the idea that more of this is coming. More of what we just had back here is coming. So this is a really key range. I like it. And can I look at it in the 12-hour bar and give myself a trade? Maybe. If this moving average crosses over, that would be a trade. So I can't give it an alert though. Rep was a big win today. I didn't see Rep take off, but it's certainly been on our list of alerts. Oh, I gotta go down. I can't just wait its turn. So yeah, you can see it was in our alerts. And actually it was a while ago, because in December 7th to the 17th, thereabouts, we had the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And as prices broke out here, it was our buy signal. And then we had to sweat it a bit, and it didn't come down to our stop loss. And prices have come up and really nice and broken out. Even better that they've broken out above this support and resistance line all the way along. Like, this is just a huge swimming pool of support beneath it. And this steady stream of positive on balance volume is really great. The RSI showing strength all the way along is great. Really nice. And probably going to do some much bigger moves. It's just releasing a whole new part to the platform, another add-on to the platform called Viper or something like that. And it's not going to just do a small little move and just trickle back. It does have the RSI divergence, although that was kind of spoiled. Well, not a really divergence. It's going along with it. You know, if you're going in an uptrend, the RSI will always be overbought. And so when you're in a trend, the RSI is not always the best indicator to be using. It's an oscillator. And if everything's all going in one direction, it doesn't oscillate. So then you watch for the divergences at the top when you get a double top or something like that. But during an uptrend, the RSI is less credible. But it's good to see that while it's uptrending, the RSI is staying overbought all the time. That's good. But that chart pattern says it all. Even if I was to just close these indicators and just look at the chart pattern, and even if I remove Bitcoin from the background, this chart pattern itself is enough to be buying in. It's got all of the requirements in it. It's really nice. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's fantastic to see. Now I'll bring those indicators back up. And so then in our sheets, if I'm going to skip ahead, let me skip over here to rep on the 14th of January. And this was an alert all the way along. Now we move it up to a buy. Ta-da. Fantastic. So we got 10 people on, and I'm not in a view where I can see how many likes there are. But I'm craving them. If there's 10 people on watching and there's only 5 likes, there should be only fewer people on then. Anyway, BTC. BTC, if I go to Bitfinex and click on Bitcoin, it is in between. That doesn't take long to see that. It's not broken the downtrend line properly yet. It hasn't finished breaking out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom, and the moving averages haven't crossed over. So it still hasn't given us a buy signal. And since we've been doing this in September, in October, November, BTC never lined up to give us a buy signal all the way along. And it's still not doing it. And so BTC remains a neutral. Now we go into BTS and Burst. So BTS is very close. It's really shaping up now and looking like it's building up. Look at the change from negative selling to positive buying. You can see the RSI slowly building all the way along, even though prices have been making a bowl shape. So this has a history of going really big moves from the past, but it also has a history of going much lower than where it is right now. So it's been down to 400s, and we're up right now at 1100. So it's got room both ways to be able to go, this market. There we are. So if Bitcoin is building, then so is BitShares. If Bitcoin starts breaking above these levels, BitShares is going to be doing everything is going to be doing some mooning. I think it's going to be really great. Then we're now looking at Burst. and we were lucky enough to call this little wee bottom and burst and get a buy signal and then get kicked out of our trade up here with a protective stop loss. So we got out at a profit, and then this came way back down. Now it's making a small little 1, 2, 3 bottom, and really it's a tradable shape. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It broke out above it. Prices came back to retest it and showing strength. There's a buy signal in itself right there. But with the simple trading plan, we're trying to do it on the 12-hour bars. And the reason for that is that it stops you from getting jumped in and out of fake out breakouts. So this one has quite a bit of maturing to do before it can fit into a 1, 2, 3 bottom that fits into the 12-hour bars right now. I'll clear that out, go to a 1-year view and zoom back. We can see that that's okay if we give it time to set up. It looks like it normally takes a bit of time to set up, so all good. Got a fire engine coming by here right away, so I'll have to mute myself. And on we are to Clam Coin. Did I update the sheet for BTS? It's in the middle, right? Burst there's nothing going on there. It wasn't a near fail for Burst. I should go back and look at that. No, it's not a near fail. And then we're on to Clam, and I would say Clam is an alert. It is making an ascending wedge triangle, and it's hit off this level 3 times. It's either an alert or it's an orange and a near fail. It's almost a sell. It's like both of them at the same time. I'll mark it as an alert for clams. And you can see how it was almost a fail the other day. So it's really right on the edge, and I love to see that. When it bursts, it's going to be going somewhere quick. So it's worth keeping some alerts pegged on this one on both sides if you might be interested in this. Civic Coin, lower lows, I'm going to have to leave it marked as a near fail. Dash is in between still, but fading. So Civic Coin gets its near fail. Dash gets neutral. Decreed and Digibyte. Decreed's probably in between still. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, really building up. It's like a bow, like a drawn bow setting up there. That's looking pretty tight. Now Digibyte actually pulled back, and we have to move this triangle, and that's not good. I don't like that. I'm going to leave it there just for now and see what happens in the next couple days. With this coming up to these levels, it's almost like it was support and now it's resistance. It's got to break through that really to build an established piece above that. And if it doesn't, then I want to track that over the next couple days. If it's languishing down below this like something that should be chopped off, we'll have to watch and see what's going on with that. So it's in between. Anyway, Doge is looking weak, but in between this larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And as we were looking at it the other day, I'm seeing a massive, huge bowl shape going on here. And when this starts to go, I think it's going to go to higher than it's been before. I'd say 220 or 240, which is insane. Fantastic levels. And it's a wonderful market because you can take a whole Bitcoin or 2 or 10 and buy a whole position without moving the market 1 Satoshi. It's one of the few cryptocurrency markets that's actually got some pretty steady liquidity. If you guys have a market you'd like me to look at while I'm here, just put it up in the chat and I'll stop my progression and go through and look at yours. Digibyte, in between. Doge was in between and not giving us anything. EOS is also very much in between. It won't be long for this to be giving us some really good alerts and buys. Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, and Factum. Ethereum, whoops, out of order, but Ethereum really bounced off these levels and has pushed up nicely. I really like to see that it's bounced off there. We've got to see another try and then the price moving on. That would be really bullish. It's in between though. It's not giving a buy or a sell. This is giving a near sell, right? This is a near fail, and actually any lower than that, it is a sell signal. If it's breaking this trend line, that is a sell signal. So I'll put it as a near fail for Ethereum Classic. Ethereum was neutral. Factum is hanging out there, and I like it. If it keeps holding this and building a little bit higher, that could be our takeoff on to this next wave for this one. This is really pulled back. It's really taken a long breather and a little bit of bubbles and some pressure. This would turn around. It looks like it may take off again. And since it went so steady, it's worth paying attention to. Game. This is a building 1, 2, 3 bottom, like an ascending wedge triangle here now. And we've already got it identified that if it breaks above these levels, those would be buy signals. So I'm going to put this as an alert. And we did not have alert for Factum, but it would get close for Factum. It was a near fail the other day. It's stabilized out enough that I'm going to leave it as just neutral. And we'll put game as an alert. Gas was an alert for 1 day, and then 3 days it wasn't. Let's go and see what's going on with gas. I have to check out ZIL. Would like your 2 cents. ADA if you have time for 2 requests. Waves looks greasy too. Waves, I definitely want to go and take a look. Let's start with Waves first. Not marked as one of my favorites. Waves has done such a great move. Who knows where it'll actually end up. If we zoom right out to a long period, this is actually pretty high for the whole project. It's not that old of a project to have that history like the other coins. So we don't know where it's going to go and how. So not knowing, a break above these highs would be bullish no matter what, just because it's the highs, that's the all-time highs. So now, as you can see, I was saying that I'm waiting for it to do some sort of retest of these levels, and a break above that would be a buy. So we've got enough of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in an uptrending market, and it pulls back. It would have been better had it pulled back a little deeper, but it still pulled back to some important support and resistance, so that a break above these levels would be another buy. That would be expecting another wave of prices going up. I like it, and I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting, when you're saying greasy, that it's like head and shoulders and that it's like looking to be slipping lower, but it's actually building properly. So that's very nice. And then you said ZIL, since we're down here in the alphabet, let's pull that up. This is a coin that I bought in October. It was looking so good. It was looking so good here in October. It was looking so convincing with all of these pre-pump activity going on. The RSI was diverging. The prices were pushing against these 1, 2, 3 bottom and pushing against the number 2s. And then everything faded off. We had to restart again. So we have a whole new 1, 2, 3 bottom. And it didn't take long for it to recover back up to the October levels, which is where we are now. And I would be... it was easier when we were buying in from this 1, 2, 3 bottom. There's easy, clear places to see when to get in. This hasn't shaped itself up into as nice of a clear setup yet. And since we have history at these levels, I would anticipate that that's going to be the important levels as it's coming up. So it's come up and touched against it. Now I would be wanting to see retests of it a couple times before it breaks, and then we may want to buy in on the dip, on the retest. So I want to see it come up and retest these levels a few times, and then on the break that could be a buy, or when it comes back to retest and show strength could be a buy. So it's right now it's in between action points for me, where the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation was a clear action. We did have a buy signal for that in our alerts, and then the stop loss was down below technical levels. They never came down to hit it. It's looking good, making some pressure, but I got to wait for those moments of everything building up and then make the decision at that time. Greasy good, amigo. Okay. ADA and TRX is another one that I'm really digging lately too. So ADA, here's our 1, 2, 3 bottom. We bought into it here, kept our stop losses back, so we're all doing good on this one. We're holding this trade for a longer term. And then watching for that top formation now. Always watching for the top now. And in the larger time frame, it still looks like it's just building a very, and if we zoom out even further to see what it's actually done in the past, this is all flatline, what we're looking at right now. You clean that up and it's all just flatline. It doesn't make any difference. But when we're looking at the 1-day view, the moving average is just crossed, and that's pretty cool. And if this is looking really good on a longer term perspective for much more significant moves than we've seen. So I like that it's coming up to these levels, and if it's giving us retests of these levels, like it is now, let me move this down a bit. So now we're seeing the test of the level, a retest of it, and then coming back on top. The buy on this signal is where I'm talking about, where we get the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. You could either buy on the breakout, or you wait for it to come back, retest that buy level, and then on strength is the actual buy signal. So this helps filter out a little bit more of the fake out breakouts that always occur when the bottom formations are just building up. So ADA, I like it. And I'm happy that we bought into it in, I don't know, the 14th or 17th of December with a trade signal. So we're sitting on that, and I'm waiting for it to do something. Most of these coins, I'm waiting for them to do something unexpected. Most people are getting numb to the fact of what's really going on. And they're getting numb to the fact of what went on last March of 2017, when things were just going absolutely unbelievable moves. It's been too long now. People have gotten dull to those memories. And I was just watching some videos from that time. So it's reawakened my thinking of when the money comes pouring into these, it's going to be a different order of magnitude than we saw last time. And these are going to be doing huge moves that are going to run right way up. So to get in at these early bottoms and then just sit is going to be really important. Okay, I lost my train of thought. What I was going to be talking about is when you get into this trade and you're sitting, this is what I'm sitting and waiting for, a larger, deeper pullback in the longer uptrend. So we can see how long did this downtrend take. Now we should see something like this again, and this would be the add-on point, this kind of deep retrace. Now we bought in here, we would hold, add on. We would have more as it's going up. So we're just completely protected by a big cushion of profit below us with this trade, and hold it for some insane profits. We're going from 1,000 to 7,000 or 8,000, but it's going to take months. So it's going to take a lot of holding, just doing nothing, holding on to it. So now we're on to, in our list here, we've got these last set to do, GNT, HUC, and onward. And what we're doing is color coding these so that we can tell where our bull market run is. And you can find a link to this Here is a link in the chat so that you can come and check out that spreadsheet whenever you want. Sometimes I'm updating it while I'm not online, not on live. And here's our Discord chat so that you can come and join us on Discord, where we're talking about cryptocurrencies all day and all night. Poloniex, GNT. GNT is still a near fail. Even though it's got all this nice positive on-balance volume, the prices are just hanging on the very bottoms there, and I don't like it. So I'm going to mark this as a near fail. HUC, Hunter Coin. We got some pre-pump patterns going on. So this is telling us that something is waking up here. Somebody's been paying attention to it and grabbed up a bunch, and they're just going to sit back and wait now, but it's not giving enough yet for me to do anything with. That would be a neutral, and it's still, so we got KNC was a near fail, and it still stays a near fail. Library credits, they were neutral, and it's just fading off enough. I'm going to make it a near fail. Maybe I should wait a few more Satoshi. It should come down a little bit more before I put it as a near fail. Loom goes up to neutral. I think it was a near fail, and it goes up to neutral. So we got KNC as a near fail. Library credits was neutral but pushing it. Loom just stepped up from a near fail to neutral. Lisk, what are you doing? Lisk is just stepped up from being a near fail. Well, I'm going to leave it as a near fail. It's got to recover just a bit more than that. Litecoin, look at that, how it bounced off of this level and has given us a green candle. I like it. Let me zoom in on that. I want to see that green candle more. Good. Good to see. That's perfect. That Litecoin made this big bowl shape here. It made a 1, 2, 3 bottom, a consolidation, ascending wedge triangle, burst up above that and came back and retested but didn't break it. That's really good. Should it break down below that? That's really key and really bad for the entire market. I would say this is our key pin chart pattern right here of like everything. If this goes, I think the rest go like a deck of cards. So we are pretty on the edge. So Lisk stays a near fail. Litecoin was a near fail. I'm going to boost it up to a neutral. MadeSafe coin, it was a near fail last time we looked at it. MadeSafe coin, wow, it was a near fail. Zoom in on that. I'll take it off the near fail list just because we got enough green candles there after this capitulation low, but it's close. That's almost a near fail. I'll upgrade it to neutral. Mana, it was a near fail. I think it took a step up as well today. Not enough though. I'm going to leave that as a near fail because it's like nearly failing. Navcoin, Namecoin, NXT. Navcoin. Neutral, but pretty good. I kind of like this chart formation that's taken this long to build up. It's shown that it has some big buyers backing it. I like it, but it's neutral. Nav is neutral. Namecoin, NXT. Namecoin made a big run. NMC. Doesn't look like a big run until we zoom in, and now it's got 1, 2, 3 big candles of selling there. So if you haven't sold out of your Namecoin yet, it may be coming back from where it is right now. And we did have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We bought into it here with our trading alerts, and it was all doing good. I'm like 69% profit, and I moved the stop loss up, and then bam, just enough to hit our stop loss, and it bounced back up to a 70-odd% profit. Still made some nice profit, but Kind of bummed about that stop loss. NXT, still a near fail. It's so close to the bottom that you're dangerous. And I always, NXT was like the next level of cryptocurrency back when I first started in 2015. That was the new wave of the best, the Bitcoin 2.0. OMG, you're just off of the near fail list. Like, just. So some of these are very close. Omni was neutral last time. Hey, it holds on to its neutral position this time. It's got these big candles to the downside. I'm not really thinking that the network has changed much, that it's going to do anything, but it's neutral. Pascal. Oh, it was a near fail. I'm going to have to mark that as a fail, as a sell right there. That's the first one of our, I got to do the darker red. That's the first one of a sell. PPC. PPC. Neutral. In between the bottom, not going up to the top, sort of hanging out, neutral. Quantum. Quantum to me looks like it's really building. It really looks like it's building up and is going to be going quantum. It's been having some trade volume I've seen in CoinMarketCap where it is, I don't know, 25% of the entire market cap of the coin is being traded within a 24-hour period. That's a lot of trade volume. And so this kind of formation, it just did some big steps up and has consolidated a bit and has a few more sweeps upward. It looks like a great opportunity right now that it's going to be going considerably higher. But do I put it as an alert yet? Well, for the simple trading plan, it's not until this moving average crosses over that it would be a buy. When the moving average crossed over, that would be a buy signal. So it's almost an alert. I'm going to leave it neutral. I guess it's close enough that I should put it as an alert. SBD, I'll look at it for fun. We already did rep. Well, if Bitcoin goes down, SBD should go up. I don't get it, because as Bitcoin was going down, SBD was going up. As Bitcoin was going down, SBD was going down. As Bitcoin was going up, SBD was going up. As Bitcoin is going down, SBD is going up. Siacoin. Made some new lows here, and that was kind of treacherous. It's pulled up a little bit, so if that is not a near fail, I'm going to leave it as a near fail. SNT was a buy and then not a buy. Yeah, okay. I could see where we would say that it's a buy and then all of a sudden that's not a buy. But really, if you had bought in here, it's a good idea to have your stop loss down below technical levels. If you're making the decision to get in, give the market room to do some stuff. And take a position that's small enough that this, if you did lose this, say 10 or 15% of the trade value, that would still be a minuscule part of your overall account. So you would ear tag, say no more than 5% for any one of your trades. And when you first put on the trade, you would only put on half of that. And so then if it does prove you wrong, it's a very small trade for the cost of that 15% to try out this position. Another idea is that you would use rule number 1, which is to say that it's not proving that you are correct, so you would get out of that trade immediately, and you wouldn't play around. You would sit around now and wait for another opportunity to get back in. This is a tough one because there's so little trading history. That's a tough market. I'm surprised I've spent that much time on it, actually. Steam. It's broken the downtrend line. We have the 1, 2, 3 bottom. The moving averages are so close together. It's not a near fail. It's not any. It's neutral, but really could be great. Steam is neutral, SNT, I'll leave it as neutral. Storage. If you've been following along with my stuff for a while, you know I'm a big fan of storage, and I've been talking about it for quite a while, but it's a near fail in this chart. And so some of the things that I really like and I've read up on and I agree with it, I think it's a great business plan. I really have to follow the chart patterns more than my fundamentals. All right, got to crack the whip here. This is a holding on to this bottom, just holding on, barely holding on. And I've been saying this for a while now, that if it breaks down below these levels, it's going to be nasty because there's nothing to hold it up until quite a ways down. So if we zoom back in on this, and thankfully it's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom, it's neutral, but darn close to being a near fail. And what did we have it last time as a near fail? It's pulled up just enough from that with a couple ticks upward here that it's I'll leave it as not near fail. Whoops. This is a good chart of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Stellar all together. And when you can see all four of them doing something at the same time, you know it's confirmation. But here we can see only 3 of them did this at the same time. Earlier, they weren't at the same time. Yes, they were. Now we're on to Strat, Sys, and Via, and we'll be almost through our routine here. Strat, hey, that's pulling into making a bottom formation here finally. It was a great trade. We made some 48% profit off of that, another 20% off the next trade that we did. And now I've been watching for this to consolidate. I was expecting it in here at the 50% level, but we've come down to about the 38% level if we did the Fibonacci's. Oh, almost down to the 23. And now if this consolidates, that can give us another place of toehold. All right, this dropped below these levels. So now what was that other coin we looked at that I wanted to keep that extra piece of, I didn't want to readjust the chart. I want to see if this turns into a piece of a chart that falls down like this. Looks like something that should be surgery cut out. But now it has to come up above this and make a stand up above this level before we can call this an alert at all. I guess maybe that should have been a near fail and then now marked as a sell. So that was a mistake in yesterday's review. And should I go back in the history and change it? No. Via coin, and it's just sort of going sideways, so it needs more juice. It's got to show us some other direction. Okay, this is not bad. We have a 1, 2, 3 bottom potentially shaping up here now on this down trend. So if it breaks this trend line, that's going to be one of our first indicators of real good strength. But it's not until it breaks across these 2 parallel lines that we are really starting to get into the music. Counterparty is next. So those are both neutral. Counterparty is also neutral, although it's sad to see it dragging below. There's another one. So there's the third one that had a trend line and then broke down below it and gave us this appendage. We'll have to see. One thing we haven't seen is things that are breaking down below the 1, 2, and down below the number 1 point again, coming down to new lows. We haven't seen any of that, which is great. So now XEM is a favorite of mine for a long time. Made this great formation, showed some strength while Bitcoin was going down. Going down now with Bitcoin, or going down anyway, well, whatever Bitcoin's doing. And now it's making a nice triangle consolidation right here, back at historical support and resistance levels. So this is a great looking chart. And I can't give it an alert, but it's a great looking chart. It's a different trading pattern to get into that right now at this price level. It doesn't have the moving averages crossing over. It doesn't have us breaking out of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, so it doesn't fit the simple trading plan. It fits some of the other trading plans that we have. Here, XMR, oh wow, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. It's a near fail, although it's picked up just a bit off of that. It's a near fail because it should turn into a sell signal if it breaks down from where it is. So XMR gets its near fail signal again still. We got a couple more to do. Prime coin and Ripple XPM. Flat along here, and I expect this to do something someday. So we'll keep checking it. Ripple is either going to crash very hard or it's going to moon just as hard. This is a consolidation pattern that is big. And we've seen a few of these and then it peters off afterwards. We've seen this build up here and then it peters off afterwards. But it's also the same staging that it's done in the past before as it's gone up. So if the pundits are correct and this is going to go from 50 cents a coin up to $5 a coin, from $5 up to 50, some people say from $50 up to $500 per coin, because of the finances it will have a chance to interact with across the globe on a daily basis, then this is a really good time to be buying it. And certainly watching for any kind of acceleration out of this is going to be really key for some, people on BitMEX are going to be doing some super high risk trading. Watch for breakouts. Look at this pullback all the way down before a blast upwards. So there's going to be some manipulation going on in this market. If it is starting to break up, it's going to be a tough one to trade. So either you're going to put your orders in now and leave your stop losses low and just leave them low and let the market do some craziness, or you're going to keep your stop losses up really tight all the time. Follow all the way along. Wait for it. Follow all the way along. Look for these reverse popcorn moves. It's another good plan is to put on a part of your trade here so that you're long, and put an order in where people would put their stop losses and wait for that stop loss run to hit and catch your trade, and then you're in a position in a separate strategy. Zcash. So what do I put in the chart for Ripple? Just neutral? It's so close to either way. It was a near fail last time. I'll move it up to neutral. Zcash was a fail last time, and then Zcash, it was a fail. Now it's a near fail. And ZRX, it's also a near fail. It's way down to these crazy levels. So this moves up to a near fail now. And this is graduates up to a near fail. That is our 50 odd markets on Poloniex. And then what I do is I copy and paste this. Loads up and counts all of our things by color. Isn't that nifty? I don't have to go back and count them. And then our chart updates as well. So we can start to see, this is the number of neutral coins, this dark green. So I'm going to have to change the color of this. But we're starting to see a change in the number of neutral coins versus the number of alerts versus the number of near fails and fails. So there's very few fails. There's a few more near fails. And alerts, we'll see how this plays out over time. This is our key right here. This is what we'll call the crypto moon matrix. Come on now. Crypto moon matrix. And we'll see. This will tell us when the moon is coming. When these start to change to the bull pattern, it'll be clear. We'll be seeing alerts all over the place. We'll be seeing fewer oranges, no reds. It'll all be yellows and greens all the way along there. And this is the format of our crypto moon matrix, where every day we're going over and we're looking for the bull market watch. We're watching all of these coins to give ourselves an index, indices of how close we are to the bull market. And of course, this stuff will also work for everything that's trading on Binance and all the other markets as well. So we can easily use the same formula for looking at all of these markets, looking for 1, 2, 3 bottom formations, a little bit of strength coming into this bowl-shaped pattern. Really looks fantastic. We are seeing the on-balance volume buying. And then you could mark this one as soon coming up to being this alert status. That's the 4-hour bars. They'll go into the 12-hour bars, and the moving averages are very close to crossing over. So it's really, there's so many markets showing such a close call for a takeoff. BNB, yes indeed. BNB is another one that was an alert a little while ago, just as it was breaking out of this. What we saw is an ascending wedge triangle, kind of. But it's the break of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And as it's breaking out of this triangle, then it was a buy signal. And it's come back and retested a couple times, but never came down below. And so it's great. And now we have a whole new level of buying that matches support and resistance in the past. So a break above that is really good. And I have no idea, BNB, all it is like oil in the machine at Binance. That's the only place that it has a place. So I don't know. But anyway, the on-balance volume is showing some selling going on here, a little bit stronger than the buying right now. So perhaps it could come back and retest a little bit and build more of an ascending wedge triangle against this top support and resistance level. And I always like that when prices do that. When they come down, they try again. They come down, they try again. They come down, then they try again. You know where the pressure is going. These ascending and descending wedge triangles are really key. They're big. And often we can get a breakout and then it comes back and retests before going higher. Much like we're seeing right now in AGI, where prices came to this ascending wedge triangle, burst higher, came back and retested it, and now they're breaking higher out of that. A really key moment here as prices were coming down to either a sell signal, breaking this trend, or turning around and being a buy signal. So checking these things out is just phenomenal. I just can't wait to see all this stuff play out. I am checking my phone. It is loading up slowly. Wow. The app never takes this long to load up. Something's up. It is 7 p.m. here. Up along the top, we can see it's 7:02 p.m. The temperature is minus 11 degrees. Bitcoin is at 37.11. Through this whole time now, we can see along this side, it pretty much just ranged sideways the whole time we went through this hour of going through all of the markets on Poloniex. What's the market that just took off today? DLT. Insane. Isn't that beautiful? Zoom it back, and here is our formation. The 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up. here's the smaller 1, 2, 3 bottom, and there was our buy signal back on January 3rd, January 2nd. And then, fortunately, prices have really absolutely blasted off there. So this is an amazing trade of, I don't know, nearly 200% profit right now as it stands. Really great. And we're expecting to see more of these kind of markets coming up. Thoughts on Solaris? I'm not sure of Solaris. Never heard of it, actually. And I've only got a minute left. Then I'm going to zip because I want to go to hot yoga. XLR. XLR. Trades on KuCoin. Something's going on with XLR. Look at that buying and selling volume. I don't know if that's wash trading going on where somebody's buying it all and then selling it all to themselves, buying it back and forth over and over again. But it's a lot of unusual volume. But it is making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, so it's really could be a popcorn move. You could have a small, $50 position in it and then put your stop losses layered way out above at twice, at 4 times, at 5 times, at 10 times, and then just sit back and wait and see what happens. I don't know enough about the coin to know why it's getting this kind of trading, but it's only on one exchange, so that makes it much more open to manipulation, which is sort of what the popcorn trading strategy is to do, is to put out a small position in all the markets that could be pump and dumped, leave your stop losses way up above and just leave them. And then when they are pumped and dumped and you get 200 and 300% profit out of the blue unexpectedly, that's what might happen here. I'm glad to have you guys along. This is an obsession of mine. It's a little bit past passion. Hey, you know what? Our significant trades aren't showing up along the side here. It is a passion of mine, and I love to go through all this stuff, and it's great to have people follow along, and it helps me be more complete in what I'm doing. I work at it harder. I do it more thoroughly. I create these big monster spreadsheets and track them day by day by day. And if I'm doing it by myself, I don't do it as dedicatedly. So anyway, I am off to hot yoga. I hope you guys have a great evening and that your crypto trading is going really profitably. Check your phone. Bye for now.